Hey, it's hump day. All right. So, I am unfortunately going to do legs today. I did my single leg Bosu ball squats this morning right away to get it out of the way. But then this afternoon before phone calls, I'm gonna hit my legs, and I'm about to ride my bike 5 miles. And as I told everybody, I got a bike that has not only really extremely fat tires, they're tall, and it's single speed, and it's fairly high geared. It's meant for just in town, but you are working the whole time you're riding that thing, and it really is helping loosen up my hips and everything else. Everything shifting shit around, no impact, but forcing my hips to move individually and then sit down and individually use your hips, and taking years of damage out. And when the amount of blood I get in my legs, if anybody wants to see some freaky shit, look up legs on speed cyclists. Those guys, the fastest guy in the world right now can single leg deadlift 500 pounds. Those speed cyclists have incredibly huge legs, and you're pushing almost as hard as you can. You sit there and you're almost as hard as you can pedal every time, and your legs eventually give out, and you coast for as long as possible. And once in a while, you even have to pull over and just take a couple minutes and catch your breath, fight up hills, whatever, get to the store, take a break while you walk around the store. But the pump in your legs, that's where I notice everything is. It feels like your legs are going to explode, like the pump, because you're just continually driving blood into those sons of bitches. Then when you go to work out, you are already pretty much warmed up. You just got to do like a set or two of something to get your form down, and then go all out with what you're doing for quads and hamstrings, and then calves I just do whenever. So the workout itself will be pretty quick. One of probably the toughest part right now is just putting this squat belt on, the X3 squat belt, if I'm using that. Otherwise, the single leg Bosu ball squats, I'm still trying to get as good as I used to be at them. By adding the X3 to it, doing a single leg with the X3. I'm working on doing that again, and I'm questioning in my head if I shouldn't just try to do that almost every heavy training session, to force myself to come up there. But it feels good to do the squat belt, and so I don't know, but we'll see. As I get stronger at the single leg Bosu ball squats, maybe I should just do that. That's what I'm going to do. I'll wait till I can get a good, perfect 30 of those, and then I'll just add the X3 to it. And we'll start going from there. But with that said, I got some videos coming, and working on lots of stuff behind the scenes, helping guys with peptides and Humanofort and TRT and bodybuilding, and changing the world. As my focus hasn't changed. I still am going to make my mark and prove that we can do this shit and be healthy and actually live a long, healthy life. And even the training, these guys training so heavy and beating the shit out of themselves, longevity wise, I've lived it. I have lived every side effect. I've done every dumb thing that somebody could do, and touched death many times, and was damn near crippled like Ronnie Coleman. And I mean, I watched all my friends dying around me. Some guys, talking about how they hurt so bad they wanted to die. I mean, it's just, then you look at guys like, Ronnie Coleman, even Dorian Yates admits it. He could have done higher volume training and had the same physique. He didn't have to listen to Menser and beat the shit out of himself. And Menser and his brother were dead within 2 days of each other. Menser had there's these rashes of bullshit all over the forums. People think, I get sick of, it's in the X3 group, somebody posts some Menser bullshit, and it's like, yeah, if you go to failure with something and take steroids and eat a shitload of protein, you're gonna get bigger. It's not fucking rocket science, but it was not the most ideal way to go about it. And there is no set amount for everybody at the same time. Some people go and you're just starting out, one set's all you need. After a while, you might need 4 sets. And then it depends on frequency and recovery and all that bullshit. So, that's one of my favorite things about the Humanofort is the recovery ability. Guys have no idea what can come from taking 6 of those a day. Take 6 Humanofort a day, you can train the same muscle twice in a day, 3 times a week. It's crazy. And as long as you can pile down the protein that's going to be required. If you don't hit your protein requirements your body is going to need for growing that quick, you're gonna gas out. And you're going to feel like death, and you're not going to want to get out of bed for a couple days. But I've done it, and it's pretty fun. And I've done full body workouts every day, nonstop. And I've done every kind of training you can fucking think of. The rest pausing, high volume, high intensity, DC training, rest pause, mile sets, you name it. And I've done it. I've worked with some of the top coaches in the world back in the day. Friends with Phil Hernan, he was kind of in the middle. And I still like Hernan's training style to this day because it's a system that works, and if you follow it, it works. And just about anybody can grow from it because it's kind of somewhere between high intensity and high volume. But it's proven the harder the gainers, the more volume you're going to have to do. Just straight up fact. And some guys can do a set or 2 and grow. And that was our Phil Hernans. I hated him for it. He'd giggle all day long in the gym. I didn't hate it. I loved his giggling. But he'd giggle and screw around all day long in the gym. And then he'd go over and do 3 sets of something. And that was it. He'd do 1 set to 25, 1 set to 15. And then load some more weight and do a set to 8. And then maybe go do some pectoral minor dips, and then eat a piece of raw salmon and protein bar, and then that was it. And the guy, that's all the effort he put into it, and he was maybe 5'8" tops. I don't think he was 5'8", and he even then was like, he had ripped abs and he weighed 245 pounds, you know, and all he was taking at that time was TRT, and he ate far less than any of us ate. I mean, I don't know what he did when he went home. Maybe he ate a lot more at home, but I never really saw it. He and I would eat a lot of sushi, and he liked those the Power Crunch bars. Those things are addictive. But yeah, I mean, Phil was an anomaly, and I learned a ton from Phil, and a ton from Emmerich, and John took the bands on and balance, and my buddy John Jaquish, the bands and balance. Once we started throwing that in there, and it's like, yeah, why aren't we building ourselves with some stuff that they use in rehab, so we're not destroying ourselves at the same time, and we can come up with ways to mix it all together and have some of the best physiques in the world and never go beyond 8-week TRT cycle that most guys think is regular TIT they would do their whole life. And some supplements and an ancestral type diet, and here we go, And for everybody out there, keep on trucking. And if anybody needs help, I'm open, available for coaching, consultations, writing up your, if you want a 12-week program, whatever the hell you want, we'll figure it out. But I got to get my ass to the store. I'll talk to you later. Bye.